You're such an asshole.
Hello, children. All right. Got another one here. Hey, Cappy, please keep me anonymous. I love your content, your clarity, and attitude of the no BS approach to life. You touched on a subject in your last video that I'm experiencing now, and you've experienced in your professional life. How do you or did you transition from general labor, no skills job after you acquired a marketable, useful skill? I never had a marketable, useful skill. I had a useful skill called underwriting, financial analysis, risk assessment, risk analysis. I would even say asset valuation. That was a useful skill. No one wanted it. It wasn't marketable. That house is worth that much. Is there a way you can make it worth more? No, dickhead, there's not. And that was banking. I'm 36, no kids, just finished a Bachelor of Science in Health Sciences from Western Governors University. It cost $4,000 and finished in 2 months because of all the prior credits. Thank you for the idea by winning so much winning. And finished a coding boot camp for Moralis blockchain developer, blockchain engineer classes. Hashtag do bro crypto. The idea is using blockchain technology, the ability to make one decentralized site for all records that cannot be altered, only added to, for healthcare records and smart contracts for billing and insurance. Junior developers in this field make $200,375 starting, typically remote, and there aren't that many developers in the space, so demand is high. God bless it, man. I hope you get it. Oh, man, $300K? Remote? You just built yourself a nice little space shuttle out of poverty. Especially given that crypto bros are more interested in pumping bleep coins instead of the actual tech being used outside of financial. Yes. If you can repurpose that technology to have a practical, absolutely. A digital nomadic career awaits. I've bounced around from job to job, school to school, hustle to hustle for a good portion of my life, 10 years, doing everything from working on a hotel night auditing to working at an animal hospital. I was even a bartender in a male strip club when I was in my 20s. I wonder why. I have a skill that has a potential to change my life. I've built my portfolio, resume, tested my skills via hackathons and one of the development projects. I could code NFTs. I made a eBay type website using crypto payments for my portfolio, and I've done minor web development, app development in my coursework. It sounds like you've done everything but just get a job. That's like the last step. I know someone will hire me for something that pays at least triple what I get paid now. Currently, I work on Amazon warehouse. Please don't share it. No, it's too late now. Say, please don't share this. I work at Amazon warehouse. I don't think we nailed you down, man. Making a certain amount. I'm applying to jobs because I just finished my programs. I need advice on going from jobs that were low skill, low IQ, low bar, and low pay to a career that puts me in a different tax bracket. Well, tax bracket, you don't do anything. You just hire Chad Elkins to do your taxes. I feel there's a mental model that needs to be shifted. I'm still adjusting to the idea that smart doesn't mean stuff, doesn't mean bleep, and I have a 148 IQ. Oh, good Lord. You're out there. Wow. You should go to MIT or something. But had to live with my mom for a year while I was getting my bleep together. Thanks, Captain, your friend, and I will keep you anonymous because we don't want to give you more identification than you already are. So your question isn't so much how to find a job with your new profession as to what the mental change or adaptation needs to be. Done and done. So I've worked crap jobs my entire adult life. This is the first time going for a job that required skills or applied knowledge before I got it. Seeing as though I haven't had an education or technical understanding before now, I just kind of used to wing it. Showed up on time, made sure not to set stuff on fire or let anything die on my shift. It's shocking how little people expect from you in these places, and there wasn't any opportunity for advancement. I know it's me being arrogant, kind of no, you worked hard and you have an IQ. Don't look, if you're like all these inferior, well, even then they are kind of inferior if you got an IQ of 148 in the realm of intelligence. But accurately assessing your abilities and skills is not arrogant. And finally having a degree and finally making halfway decent. My question is going to this field. The bar is definitely going to be higher. The responsibility is more important than stacking boxes. Is there a mental change I need to make in the way I think about things? If I do what's asked outside, just the general, don't be lazy, sack of crap. Is there more to it than it? Okay. Yeah. So Generally, no. And the reason why is this is right now your skill set is in such high demand that especially in the world of IT, people have a problem and they just have to deal with it. I think they've resigned themselves. They can't solve it. Nerds, IT nerds, tech nerds, geek nerds, engineering nerds. There's always the complaint that they don't have any social skills, that they're not normal. I agree and disagree. I half agree, half disagree. Whereas I understand some of the nerds and the IT guys might be a little bit socially awkward. What I think that main criticism comes from are dude bros and MBAs and idiots who are psychopaths in corporate America. And it's like, oh, you think the nerds are the one that needs some social calibration? You're the one working 70 hours a week and you go off the handle if someone doesn't get your tea right, lady. You're the weird psychopaths having like whatever, like we're having happy fun day at the office today, guys. Come to happy hour and we got some crazy games. Like, no, I'm here to make my job, get the F out. So I think maybe it's in general two socially uncalibrated groups saying, oh, look at those weirdos over there and not realizing they're also weirdos unto themselves. But there is an element of truth to that where if you get some super high IQ people, geek or not, IT or not, they're just a little off, man. I know this one guy, he was a Google engineer, and yeah, he was like, I don't think he had the autism or anything like that. I think he just was stuck at a computer the entire time he was growing up and didn't throw no balls or take no punches. However, you working in the blue collar world and having all of your previous existent living, regardless of your high IQ, I think that's anchored you and made you more normal and socially calibrated that you're going to go in. You know, you've worked with a bunch of guys. You've done poop and fart jokes. You've worked in a locker room. You've done blue collar work. You've seen people, especially working that hotel night manager thing. You've seen every type of person ever. So I think you're definitely exposed that you're not going to have to worry that much about it, but you may have, look, one thing, communication skills, BS, but if you could translate to an idiot MBA how the technology works, like you take the time to figure out, okay, how do I take this very complex thing that he doesn't have the background, the ability to understand? And I give him a very good, thorough, functioning understanding of it so that he can then explain to all of his other low IQ MBA people from the Carlson School of Management so they get it. Now you're the guy. Now you're the go-between. You could translate geek into MBA dude bro or English. But so communication might be one thing. But I don't think it's going to be necessarily that important because they need you more. This is why they pay the engine. This is why the answer to your question is already kind of answered it. And if you could get that starting salary, if they're paying you $200K to begin with, they're going to overlook your social obtuseness if you have any, which I don't think you. In terms of other professional, like you're going to a general professional job, it's basic, the same stuff going on at Amazon as it is there. But it's even more appreciated if you do these things. Show up on time, bathe, have a haircut, have a planner, make sure you don't miss any meet. Like you got a plan, you got things going on now. That's probably all done on Microsoft Planning or some kind of software now. But basic common sense, which I think you got, show up on time, show up a little bit early. When it comes to also professional settings, depending on the environment, the office environment you're in, all right, are people dressed in suits? Are they dressed a little bit more? They should probably tell you this at the interview. But you may not even run into that. Because again, if you're in the $250,000, $300,000 era, it's like you could wear your PJs and program from home and jerk off to porn for all we care. Get us the code. But if you got to go into the office, try to dress normal. You know what would be great? You know what? It would be fun. It would take a little bit of time. Watch the IT crowd and try to Because the only normal person in the show is Jen. She's the accountant. No, she's not the accountant. She's the manager. She's the only normal person in the entire show. Watch the IT crowd and kind of see how exasperated she is dealing with these IT nerds, trying to just have them go through normal social situations. And you being an IT guy, you love that show. It's hilarious. Lady slacks. But sympathize with Jen. She's just trying to get these idiots to not screw up too much. And I think if you show up in a appropriate attire, another good rule, this is just in general, shut up. Don't say anything. Just watch and observe for like months. I mean, if you're asked a question, say something. And if you have something genuinely, well, we can't do it that way, it won't work because of this internet thing. Certainly voice your concerns, but you say nothing. But just observe what everyone's doing. Kind of treat it like a National Geographic special, except instead of studying wildebeest, you're studying NBA dude bros and dude broettes. Don't be a hero. Don't be a slacker either, but just kind of watch and observe. Because what I think you might have a problem, which is what anyone's going to have a problem with, is dealing with corporate politics. Again, hopefully your incredibly in high demand skill will inoculate you against this where you don't have to deal with it. You're not dealing with Karen in HR. You're not dealing with this egomaniac who's very common, and you'll run into this with like the startup companies. It's some moron who doesn't have the ability to do it. And he wants to play make-believe CEO, so he borrows all a bunch of money that he has no intention of ever paying back because he has no intention of making money. He just wants to play make-believe CEO. That's like 95% of startups. Look at Theranos. All right. So kind of pay attention to those guys. Avoid those guys. Identify. Like, look at the product. Is this going to make money? It's not. Don't even bother with that project because you're dealing with a psychopath who literally has no problem stealing money, millions of dollars from people so he can play make-believe CEO. But just general corporate politics you're going to have to deal with. And what I would do is kind of like leave your ego at the door. Like, don't get what, and the way you handle politics at the office is you just find another job or you get self-employment. That's a fourth, third, fifth thing, whatever we're on now. So, okay, you're always in the market for other things. If a boss gets too lippy, you're like, yeah, I'm out of here. But no, dude, bro, Mr. NBA, Mr. Dumbass, you're nothing without me. So go borrow some more daddy's money, suck off your dad's tit, whatever you got to do. I'm out of here. You go work for the competition or a legitimate firm. But if you have this skill, you should be immediately starting to look for some kind of self-employment, part-time gig, something to get your own portfolio of clients going on the side. There, which is why we recommend self-employment. I mean, obviously you're not a dick. At no point do you become unprofessional. But that's where you pick and choose. And if you want to watch any of the times where we had the Vlad Elkums hour, where I have Chad coming in, he's firing clients all the time because he was desperate. He wanted to get clients in so he could survive. And he took on all the wrong clients, not all the wrong clients, but way too many bad clients. So you build up your portfolio of clients. If they get lippy, that's your house, man. Whose house? Run's house. If they don't follow Run's rules, you kick them out. Oh, no, you're gone. I'm firing you. I mean, you could do that with clients. Yeah, you're fired. You're not my client anymore. Go find someone else. But then you get like this core group of clients, and that usually should be a little bit more, not a little bit more, 100% on your terms. This is how it works. If you want to hire me, that's fine. If not, no. I don't do meetings. I am 1099. What I enjoyed when I did have a handful of like corporate consulting clients, I'm like, the line goes across. It does not go down to me. It goes across. And it is a dotted line, right? I am a hired gun. You're hiring me because I have a superior skill that you do not currently have, either yourself included or your entire company. You will not talk to me as a subordinate. You will talk to me as an equal, a much needed one. And that kind of sets the tone if you have to have that talk with them. If they start, I don't like your attitude. Let me explain something to you. Oh, well, you're fired then. And now if you like me back, your prices have doubled. So you don't tolerate any crap like that. So you got clients that understand, I really need, okay. Like accountants, people are like, can you do the accounting for me? Yeah. Okay, yeah, thank you very much, because they desperately don't want to do their accounting. So you're in that kind of position with those clients. But generally, then when you go, it's nothing really more than I could say aside from show up on time, do the job right. If there's any questions or confusion, like, is this how you wanted it? And here's another thing that I did. Now, of course, this is probably more of a function of me being in banking, being a corrupt inept place for truly stupid people to be employed. I do mean that. I'm not just slamming on all previous employers. I'm slamming on the entire profession because it's true. Um, you, some people call it CYA. I've never understood this Game of Thrones. Well, did you do this? Did you see that? I just made sure I did my job thoroughly, 100% correct all the time. So that when someone came in and complained, I had it backed up. I'm like, there it is. I remember this one guy, he went through my entire model. This guy, he had to waste at least 3 hours to go through every formula I program. And he's like, well, the cash ratio, you have it. It's technically the current minus inventory ratio, which is a technicality. I looked at the guy. I'm like, you told me you wanted it that way. I made the change. Now you're complaining about the change that you made. There's people like that there. So you want to make sure you do your job. So and that you prove you did your job. So that if anybody ever comes in and complains, like, no, it's right there. I did it. And yeah, man, but hopefully you don't have to deal with that because you're high level IT. So dealing with corporate politics, just stay out of it. Don't say anything unless you need to. I don't think I have to tell you not to ask girls out at the places of office. You should always have your fingers in another job just in case you're lied to. It's a bait and switch. But professional, yeah, I mean it's not. Look, maybe this is where I'm having a wrestling with this. You're working in Amazon at whatever Stockboy warehouse, whatever, and you think the IQ is down here, and then when somehow now you go into corporate America and you get a white collar job, that the IQ shoots up here. No. If anything, it goes up about that much. So I think you're overestimating how serious and professional and intelligent these people are. If you get into a good company, they're more intelligent, they're more professional. And so you bring your A game no matter what, but you're going to find out they're no smarter. They're just more arrogant and they fake being more intelligent. I guarantee you those people in the warehouse are probably just as intelligent as the NBA boss. He just maybe has a little bit more intelligence and uses that as sadism and Game of Thrones backstabbing BS. I don't think they're that much more intelligent. So it's maybe more of a cultural thing, but that's like a wait and see. You got to be mired in the culture. But yeah, generally, there's not much different that you do. Show up on time, make damn sure you do your job right all the time, and it's provable. Save all emails, email all communications. So you say, did you not send this email? That's what it is. Be 100% logical. So when someone says, well, you didn't do that. No, I have it right here. And I sent you an email saying I needed tax returns or I needed this code and you never got it to me. So that's a lie. That one didn't earn me. Well, so that's a lie. It didn't earn friends. Well, I pissed off the right people. Well, so that's a lie. And there it is. So when you give me the tax returns, then I can do the underwriting. As I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in this email thread before. They're nobodies. These people are all nobodies. I think they're all approaching death, frankly, because they're all in their 60s then. And just, oh, they're such losers. Yeah, show up on time, be professional, dress correctly. Try to really be that conduit, that translator between geek speak and normal person speak. Choose your battlefield wisely. You don't want to be going like, if you're at an interview and they say, what do you think about diversity and inclusion? Get the F out, man. Like say, oh, this isn't the company for me then. What? No. I work in meritocracies where I get paid to do my job. Not because I you know, frankly, you people, and I think you guys all should do that. If anyone says, "What do you think about diversity and inclusion?" I refuse to work for racist and sexist organizations like yours. I'm done. I'm not working here. But no, you guys are disgusting people for thinking that. You're absolutely disgusting, filthy people. I refuse to work for such amoral people. And then you leave, and they're like, "Where can we find people?" Anyone who want to work for that company anyway, because that will be an any time. Here's another one. This is not a professional saying, but anytime they refer to themselves as a family, like we here at the Gillette family, get out. That's a cult. Because there's no family, there's no niceness. It's that what they want when they say family, they're placing more value on their corporate culture and their cultish ideology, whatever it is, than there is reality and profit. Like reality and profit is second to their culture and ideology. And that's scary. Why? Because it means they're manipulative. It means they're psychopaths. It means they are not anchored in reality. The bosses want themselves filleted to feel good about themselves. So you dance through all these hoops. They're sick, twisted people. Instead of you working hard to get the product out and make the money, make the profit. So anytime they say family or any kind of politics, that means there are amorphous goals and requirements they're going to have for you. And it's not practical. And they don't really care about the profit. They care about using these things as a tool to torture you and to get, I'm not joking, they get off on it. I know it sounds, well, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. You're right. But these people are sick, twisted people. So anytime something is put ahead of profits and, practicality and functionality, like, whoa, get out. Like, no, I don't. Like, just a general rule. Well, we have diversity and inclusion training. No, not for me. You don't. And you could say, well, in that case, I have no interest. I mean, I would contract for you, but I have no interest in being an employee here. Just be nice if all the guys just say, yeah, we're not doing it. No, I'm not. What? I'm not doing that. No. I come to work at a place that makes money and profit is meritocracy. And I'm not doing that. It's just not, it's beneath me. It's insulting. And I'm not the type to fit in here. I can't believe you hate women. Yeah. That's, that's why. So yeah, that's about it. I don't think there's much more to it than that. Common sense, keep your head down. But it's the things outside of work you're doing, always on the phone with a recruiter, running your side gig, getting those clients up and running. So you got your self-employment, you're part of the 1099 superior race, and just, and then see where it goes. But yeah, man, good luck. That sounds great. I would love it if you made $250,000 right off the bat. That'd be awesome. The Geth, $5. If you're still looking for video games to enjoy, I highly recommend Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I started playing Just Cause 4. It's cool. They really over-engineered that grappling hook thing. And now you can increase the power level and you have 3 slots. I'm like, God, just let me... It's like the closest thing to being Spider-Man you'll ever be. And I think I'm just going to ignore all those little trinkets and just run and gun. Evan M, 20 generous Canadian dollars. For the first year, work like a dog. You'll need to learn some antiquated IT system. The hospital installed in 1987 hasn't been updated due to HIPAA. Become an expert on a very specific system. You're irreplaceable. Yeah, that's another thing to do. I'm not worried about him. I think he's, between his background and blue collar work, his IQ, sounds like he went through some trials and tribulations. I think he's got a head on his shoulders there, and a street smart one, not necessarily a high IQ one. All right, there we go. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. See you guys later. Toodles.